Hello students, today we will read chapter number 2 of our Flamingo Lost Spring Stories of Stolen Childhood, written by Anis Jung. Anis Jung, you know that she is an Indian writer. She was born in Rourkela, got her initial education in Hyderabad and higher education in US, and her parents were also writers and she earned this talent from her parents. She had become a famous novelist and columnist. She had got many awards for her writing, and the major award is Sahitya Akademi Award and Padma Shri Award. This chapter, Lost Spring Stories of Stolen Childhood, it has been taken from Anis Jung book, which is having the same title. From the same book, this expert has been taken, and it consists of two parts. First part of the story is Sometimes I find a rupee in the garbage, and second part is I want to drive a car. First of all, we will discuss first part of the story. Sometimes I find a rupee in the garbage. The main character of this is Sahib. Sahib is a young boy who is representing poor strata of society. He is an exploited child. Now, first time when our narrator met Sahib, then she asked him a question, why do you do this? Then Sahib, who was scrounging the garbage, who was searching the garbage, he tells that he was searching is in order to find a gold. So for him, the garbage stands for gold. Sahib here is a rag picker. And then she asked him, why don't he go to school? Then Sahib muttered slowly and then replies to our author that he has no school near his house, that's why he is not going to school. Then Anis Jung asked humorously if she built a school for him, would he join? Then Sahib says definitely. Then after few days, Anis Jung met Sahib, and then Sahib asked him, his school is built. On hearing this, Anis Jung feels embarrassment because in order to build a school, we need a lot of infrastructure. It is not an easy job. Now, this time she asks him his name. Then he tells his name, Sahib-e Alam. And this boy didn't know the meaning of his name. Sahib-e Alam means the Lord of the universe. But this child, he is doing the job of the rag picking. Now, Sahib tells him that they have migrated from Bangladesh because his mother has told him that that area where they used to live, there was lot of flood, and due to floods and storms, their fields had been destroyed, their house had been destroyed, and that's why they had left Bangladesh. Now they are refugee over here, and now he is living on the periphery of Delhi, and the name of that place is Simapuri. After few days, again our author meets Sahib. This time Sahib is moving along with his friends. There was a group of boys with him. All the boys, they were not wearing any kind of slippers in their feet. At that time, Anis Jung asked them, why didn't they wear the slippers? Then Sahib replied that his mother hadn't taken them off from the shelf. Then other one said that if he would get, he would never wear. And the third one, he was wearing the old shoes. And what does it shows? It shows that that was not their habit, that they are not wearing the slippers, but it is showing their utter state of poverty. And then after that, what happens? Her acquaintance with Sahib takes her to Simapuri. Simapuri is a place where almost 10,000 rag pickers were living all together. They were living in the mud houses. There were very dim light, and there was no drainage system. Stinking smell was coming from there, and everything was very filthy, and it was very difficult to live at that place. But Sahib, along with other poverty stricken children, they were living over there. So this is the scene of Simapuri. And after that, our author also recalls one of the incident of the Udupi village. What she reminds that there was a priest child who used to go to read in the school, and the school was at the back of the temple. Whenever he goes to school, he remained barefoot and he bows in front of the Lord in order to get a pair of slippers. Now 30 years after, when our narrator visits the same village, what she finds that at the back of the temple, what she finds that now the priest child, he is wearing the shoes, socks and the school uniform. It shows that now that prayer has been heard by the God. She also heard one of the child who was doing the prayer that he got the slipper and he don't want to lose those slippers. So this is also telling us the state of poverty. And now sometimes later again she met Sahib. What he is doing now, he is carrying a canister on his shoulder and he is working at a tea shop. He is earning 800 rupees per month. But this time what he feels that the canister which is carrying, that is heavier than the bag of the rag picking, and now he is not his own lord. His freedom has been taken by the tea shop owner. This is the first part of the story. स्टोरी के पहले पार्ट में आपको क्या बताया गया है कि सम टाइम आई फाइंड ए रूपी इन द गार्बेज। ये इसका पहला हिस्सा है। साहिब इसका मेन कैरेक्टर है और नरेटर जब इसको मिलती है पहली बार, नरेटर इससे क्वेश्चन पूछती है कि व्हाट आर यू डूइंग, कि क्या कर रहे हो। तब वो कहता है कि मैं जो है इसमें से गोल्ड ढूंढ रहा हूँ। व्हाट ही इज डूइंग, ही इज सर्चिंग इन द गार्बेज। वो गोल्ड को फाइंड आउट करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं। और उसके बाद में वो क्या देखती है, ए फ्यू डेज लेटर दोबारा जब वो उससे मिलती है तो वो उससे क्या पूछती है, उसका नेम पूछती है, क्योंकि अभी तक उसकी इतनी एक्वेंटेंस नहीं हुई थी। अब जब वो अपना नेम बता देता है, वो नेम बताता है साहिब आलम, और साहिब को अपने इस नाम का मतलब नहीं पता है। इसका मतलब क्या है कि दुनिया का मालिक। लेकिन आयरनी क्या है, हियर इज द आयरनी दैट ही इज डूइंग द रैग पिकिंग जॉब। नाउ आफ्टर फ्यू डेज शी फाइंड साहिब। वो कुछ दिन के बाद साहिब को देखती है कि वो जो है अपने सेम एज ग्रुप के साथ, पीयर ग्रुप के साथ में वो एक प्लेस से दूसरे प्लेस पे जा रहा है और उन्होंने किसी ने चप्पल नहीं पहने हैं। तब नरेटर उनसे पूछती है कि तुमने चप्पल क्यों नहीं पहने। तब एक आंसर उसको आता है कि मदर ने जो है शेल से उतार के नहीं दी, और दूसरे बच्चे का आंसर आता है अगर उसकी मदर दे भी दे तो वो नहीं पहनेगा, और तीसरे बच्चे ने कुछ शूज डाले, वो क्या कहते हैं, इट शोज द अट्टर पॉवर्टी। तो यहाँ पे हमें जो है एक्सप्लॉइटेड कंडीशन दिखाई दे रही है बच्चों की, कि उनके पेरेंट्स के पास इतने भी पैसे नहीं है कि वो उनको जो है चप्पल परचेज करके दे सके। अब हमारी जो नरेटर है उसकी एक्वेंटेंस बहुत ज़्यादा बढ़ गई है साहिब के साथ में। अब वो साहिब से पूछती है कि वो कहाँ से आया है। तो साहिब उसको बताते हैं कि अर्लियर वो कहाँ रहते थे, बांग्लादेश में रहते थे, और बांग्लादेश में जो है स्ट्रॉम्स की वजह से, फ्लड्स की वजह से उनके हाउसेस जो है डिस्ट्रॉय हो गए, उनके फील्ड्स जो है वो डिस्ट्रॉय हो गए हैं, और अब वो जो है यहाँ पे रिफ्यूजीज बन के आए हैं, और जो है दिल्ली के पास एक एरिया है सीमापुरी, वहाँ पे रह रहे हैं। सीमापुरी एक ऐसा प्लेस है जहाँ पे 10,000 के करीब जो है लोग रह रहे हैं। वो कौन से पीपल हैं, वो पॉवर्टी स्ट्रिकन पीपल हैं। यहाँ पे स्टिंकिंग स्ट्रीट्स हैं, नो लाइट इज देयर, मड हाउसेज आर देयर, नो वेंटिलेशन, नो इलेक्ट्रिसिटी, नो ड्रेनेज सिस्टम। वहाँ पे कोई भी जो है सिविल एम्यूनिटीज नहीं है, जिसकी वजह से जो है ये लोग वहाँ पे रह रहे हैं। अब इनके पास सिर्फ एक ही आइडेंटिटी है। वो क्या आइडेंटिटी है उनके पास, सिर्फ उनका राशन कार्ड, और वो उसी से सेटिस्फाई हैं। क्यों राशन कार्ड से सेटिस्फाई हैं, बिकॉज राशन कार्ड जो है उनको ग्रेन प्रोवाइड कर रहा है, अदरवाइज और इनके पास कोई फैसिलिटी नहीं है। और वोटर लिस्ट के बीच में इनका नेम आया हुआ है। कोई भी पर्सन जो है इसमें कोई एफर्ट नहीं कर रहा है आगे बढ़ने के लिए, कुछ काम करने के लिए। और इसके बाद में हमारे पास एंड के बीच में हम देखते हैं तो हमारे पास क्या आता है कि यही साहिब जो है क्या करते हैं, एंड के बीच में ये रैग पिकिंग का काम छोड़ करके क्या करना शुरू कर देता है, एक टी शॉप पे काम करना शुरू कर देता है, जहां से उसको 800 रुपये पर मंथ मिलना शुरू हो जाते हैं। अब नो डाउट उसको जॉब मिल गई है, उसने रैग पिकिंग का काम छोड़ दिया है। अब ही इज नॉट हिज ओन मास्टर, उसकी फ्रीडम जो है दैट हैज बीन टेकन. अर्लियर ही वॉज हिज ओन मास्टर बट नाउ हिज फ्रीडम हैज बीन टेकन अवे. सेकेंड पार्ट के बीच में हमारे पास में क्या है, आई वॉन्ट टू ड्राइव अ कार. मेन कैरेक्टर हमारे पास क्या है, मुकेश. नाउ मुकेश ही बिलोंग्स टू वन मेजर डिस्ट्रिक्ट दैट इज फिरोजाबाद. फिरोजाबाद हमें सबको पता है दैट इट इज नोन फॉर द बेंगल मेकिंग. फिरोजाबाद, in each and every house their bengal making work is done. So Mukesh showing the poor strata of the Firozabad who are indulging in a bengal making work, and Mukesh is also part of this. And once our author went with Mukesh to his house, and now Mukesh took her to her house, and on the way what he found that total filthy conditions are there, and they were having the mud walls, tin shelter, and the wobble doors of iron. And when Mukesh took our narrator to his house, then he opened the door. What our narrator finds that there was a lady, slim lady, she was sitting over there. What she was doing, she was making the household chores, and she was making the food for all the people. And that lady, she was the sister-in-law of Mukesh. After that, our narrator met with Mukesh mother. After that, our narrator meets Mukesh grandmother. She was sitting over there and just telling to Anis Jung that they are living according to their lineage. It means that they are living here from generation to generation. They are doing the same work. And she also told to our author that her husband had lost his eyesight due to the bengal making, because temperature is so high and their light is so dim that they have to lose their eyesight. Now her husband has become blind, but he is satisfied. He replies that he is satisfied because no doubt he is having two boys. He is satisfied because he is having his own house and he is able to fulfill all the requirement of the house. But we came to know from her grandmother that they were only able to get one day meal. So what it shows that the utter poverty condition, and people are not revolting. They are living under these conditions, or they are not making any organization. Secondly, they are confined by the fictitious circle of the middleman, and he is exploiting them. Nobody is becoming the leader. They are not making the organizations, and this is the reason they are living where they are. But Mukesh, he wants to drive a car, and he tells to our narrator that he wants to become a motor mechanic, and no doubt he has to move a miles away in order to go to the town in order to learn it. It is very tough, but he has taken a decision that he want to leave that area. He want to improve himself. So what does it shows? That the children who are exploited, they want to move from that area. They want to improve themselves. They want to change their lifestyle. Thank you.